so that we are able to respond to disease outbreaks in time, manage them, control them, and eventually be able to identify new diseases like COVID-19 virus.
Do you want to give it to CDC? And once we come to NIH, ongoing, that came into the Department of Defense, it's well ongoing. But we have to put up contingency measures to make sure that we are not really very much impacted by this. But just want to say one thing is that research is global. What we do in KEMRI, we don't do in KEMRI the site. We collaborate with the researchers from the UK, from the US, because the disease knows no borders. There is an infection, Ebola or flu. You travel the same day from here to the US, London, very short time. So there is no disease that says that, okay, it's only been done for a foreign country. That's why researchers always work together to be able to find something good match. So it is interconnected, and it's really unfortunate that the authorities want to divide science, because this one team is one network, partnerships and collaborations. When we are looking for a vaccine, the same vaccine we use in the US, same vaccine we use in South America, use in Europe. Malaria, mosquito, doesn't need a reason. Mosquito carrying a malaria parasite does not differentiate and say it is somebody from this country. So we should not have that differentiation, because we should not have the face is one team, one global scientific community. However, as we are working on that also, we in Africa have to be able to look at ourselves.
That came from nowhere. So those are the advances that I talked about. I really kind of went through the advances that are available to us, the advances that us as KEMRI has made in the labs in deploying the state-of-the-art genomic infrastructure that allow us to do the disease identification, characterization, and responding. So you probably don't know, but every day as KEMRI labs, we receive a lot of samples from the ministry, from other sources, from outbreaks that we test in the lab, that you hear in the in the radios, for example, about the mpox, the monkeypox. Our neighbors, for example, Uganda has announced over 2,000 cases of mpox. Congo DRC has over 400,000 and counting and going on. And every day, you can imagine the number of long distance truck drivers that go to those countries to take goods and come back with goods, and they travel all the way along from Busia, Malaba to Mombasa. So we've tested over 400 samples for mpox, and out of those, only 38 have been positive. And none of them, if you look at where they located, they are all located along the long distance truck drivers route. The route from Busia, big concentration in Nakuru, and then Nairobi and Mombasa. I think the good thing of doing this kind of thing and is really trying to understand is the disease spreading. And currently, I think the ministry is doing a great job. They are not seeing spread, they are containing it, they are tracking the contacts. I think we learned a lot about how to track our contacts from the COVID-19. So we have done a great job in containing, it's not spreading inland. Although the samples, they are coming from all over the country. So
of science possible. So how do you believe what it is that we're doing and trust that the concerns that happen. We know, especially during the COVID pandemic, we still have myths that are circulating. People who are afraid of taking vaccinations because they think, I take a vaccine, you're telling me you're going to protect me from getting an infection, but you're actually stopping me from having children. People need to believe that when we say this vaccine is to protect you against an infection, that's all it's doing. This is where research integrity comes in, that you can actually believe that what we do and what we say are congruent and they're consistent. So we need to break those myths, and those can be done by us making sure that there is clarity on what the country is holding people accountable for, because people know if you go and steal and you're caught, there's a penalty, isn't it? Yeah, so people know. But in the same way, if they don't know what happens if these people are not doing the right thing, that there's a mechanism for ensuring they do the right thing, it allows us to trust the system better. See development of the research work we've been involved in. I think even the speakers who we're talking about today, we're focusing a lot on malaria and being at the cutting edge of technology, so they'll be able to answer you. So those are the mandates that KEMRI is really working on to make sure that we can do that. Now, in terms of research, I talked about artificial intelligence. I'll invite you to a symposium that's happening on Friday. We're actually going to be talking about the issues around artificial intelligence and ethics. How do we manage that nexus? How do we ensure? Because remember, the most important thing around artificial intelligence is we talk about garbage in, garbage out. The quality of what goes in is what determines the quality of what goes out. So if you have a lot of noise and a lot of garbage coming in, what you're going to get out will not be accurate. And because a lot that's been done has not necessarily focused on our continent or our circumstances, it means if you feed in a lot of information that's from other sources, you're likely to get results that are not consistent with what is happening here, just because we don't have enough data that is focused on our particular populations. That the medication you're given was going to work. How did you trust that the person who was making the diagnosis was making the right diagnosis? This is where research integrity comes in. It's being able to know that the science that we're doing can be relied on, can be trusted. That if someone tells you this medicine works, they have done the work that tells you, yes, you can use this medicine and it actually works. That's why research integrity is important. Research integrity means that the work we're doing is reliable, that the quality of the research is reflected in the design of the work that is being done, and that we're using the resources appropriately. It means that we are showing respect for the people who participate in the research, respect for the society, respect for the environment, respect for the cultural heritage, even within the teams that we work in. It also means that we are honest. We are able to develop, to review, to undertake, and to actually report the research transparently. If something works, we say it works. If it doesn't work, we say this does not work. These are the results that we found. It doesn't make a difference. It is not useful. But it also means that we are accountable. We are accountable for all the ideas, whether it's from the initial idea itself, to the publications that we make, to the resources that we use, to the way in which we run anything that we're doing, from accounting to procurement to the actual work. It means that we can be relied on as scientists that we're doing the right thing in the right way. This is what makes people able to believe research, to be able to utilize it. Many countries now have research integrity codes because it's bigger than just the issue of research ethics. It's bigger than did you get it approved, reviewed by a committee. It means who are you when nobody's looking? Are you doing the right thing in the right way, even if nobody is seeing you? Are you saying the right thing in the right way? That's what research integrity is about. And at KEMRI, we do have a research integrity committee that is helping pave the way to ensure that we are doing the right thing in the right way. Providing avenues where we can have whistleblowers or anybody who's concerned raise a concern if there's a concern that needs to be addressed, and that there are mechanisms of addressing it and addressing it appropriately. It also means that we can ensure that our scientists know what is expected of them by training them and ensuring they know how to do the right thing in the right way. KEMRI will have a research integrity office that will be appointed by the Director General, and the committee is currently working on exactly how this needs to be set up, where it needs to be, how it needs to function, so that we can ensure we are giving our researchers the correct way to be able to do things in the right way. So the next time you go to any healthcare facility, even if you're given that Panadol, remember it's because someone's done the work to make sure that it does work and it's the right medication you need to take for whatever you brought into that facility. That's where research integrity comes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mostly we are collaborating with them in a project that's looking at issues of research integrity across the East African and Southern African region. It really falls within their mandate, but we do need a research integrity policy and code and legal framework for this country. So your question is very much on point.
Welcome. Yes, this is our 15th annual conference that we have been doing every year for the last 15 years. This conference is what we showcase as KEMRI, our outputs in research and innovation. This one, as we discussed yesterday or so, is one of the largest, not only in terms of attendance, but also in terms of presentations. Very high impact presentations from our scientists, from our collaborators, from our students, that has high impact, especially towards public health or health practice, medical practice in general. The presentation of this conference that we are holding this year is coming on the backdrop of recent US announcements of withdrawal of foreign aid, especially the area of health, KEMRI and research in general, for research. Most of the work that we are doing in KEMRI actually is funded to US taxpayers' money. You see around 60% of the work we do, our scientists, not only the partnerships with the US universities, US partners from CDC, USAID, NIH, Department of Defense. So we actually pull it down very carefully because of particular impact. It's not only causing globally, in Kenya, but also was in Kenya. As of now, we are happy that majority of our work is still ongoing without much disruptions. Only a few that has been affected. We want to give it to CDC. But once we come to NIH, still ongoing. One that came into the Department of Defense, well ongoing. But we have to put up contingency measures to make sure that we are not really very much impacted by this. But just want to say one thing is that research is global. What we do in KEMRI, we don't do in KEMRI as a site. We collaborate with the researchers from the UK, from the US, because the disease knows no borders. There is an infection, Ebola or flu. You travel the same day from here to the US, London, very short time. So there is no disease that says that, okay, it's only been done for a foreign country. That's why researchers always work together to be able to find something for humanity. So it is interconnected, and it's really unfortunate that the authorities want to divide science, because this one team is one network, partnerships and collaborations. When we are looking for a vaccine, the same vaccine we use in the the vaccine we use in North America, South America, use in Europe. Malaria mosquito doesn't need a reason. Mosquito carrying a malaria parasite does not differentiate and say this is somebody from this country. So we should not have that differentiation because we should have the base is one team, one global scientific community. However, as we are working on that also, we in Africa have to be able to look at our solutions. As we say, donor funding is never sustainable. We have to look at our own resources. We have to look at our own potential, generate our own funding resources. And KEMRI is working on that. Not only are we lobbying government to increase our research funding, but also we are looking within ourselves to see the resources we have. Getting great Kenyan philanthropists to support the work that we do so that we don't have reliance on that particular one source. Our scientists are also working to diversify their source of grants so that we don't depend only on the US side. We are getting more stronger partnerships with the UK, stronger partnerships from EU, Asia, even within our own African countries themselves. In that way, the diversification really helps so that we don't have over-reliance on one source. So our scientists are really good candidates in terms of looking for diversification, in terms of their grants, and especially diversify more partners from other entities, other countries, so that we not put up this offense. So I said, three things. Number one is that science is global. It's very unfortunate that sometimes some policymakers want to write science and say, okay, we cannot support this and so on support this because one disease does not know us. It doesn't know politics. There's the reasons. Number two is that it's a wake-up call for us. Say, okay, there's a need for own resources, own revenues, for us to be able to really get our own priorities. Number three is diversification. We diversify, because we are not going to look at one source of partners. Look at our whole global